Uh-huh.
At the liquor store today,
Mhm.
I found something over the counter which was interesting.
What was that?
It's called a party patch.
Oh,
This sounds like it's gonna go places.
Apply while drinking, remove the next day. Replenish your body with vital vitamins and nutrients by applying a party patch while drinking. For best results, wear the patch for at least 8 hours. Remove the patch the next day.
is this?
Does the patch just say I'm a sucker?
It says natural hangover defense, win tomorrow. So yes, it does
Yeah, it
say
does
you're a
say you're a
sucker.
sucker. All right.
Right on it.
Welcome to Liquid Courage Podcast, where Tim's a sucker.
Hey man,
This is
hey, hey, what if this works? We don't know.
It
We'll
won't.
find out.
It
Well,
smells so bad.
yeah.
It smells so bad. Oh my god.
Put it on, Tim.
Oh, it smells like if you would like put a cigarette out on a shirt and then wash the shirt, but it didn't get washed correctly, so you pull it out of like the washer and it just smells horrible.
Liquor defense. Apply directly to the forehead.
What's funny is that's probably what the main antagonist of the second part of this episode smells like.
It smells so
and
bad.
the man who described that in grave detail is Tim. The man who encouraged him to put it on is Sheldon, and I'm Taylor. This
I don't know.
my new radio voice because I'm still processing the episodes we watched because I don't know.
They
If
they were
they're-
pretty good.
I don't think they're bad. I'm just thoroughly confused tonally because
Do you
they're on the
like-
opposite ends of the tone spectrum.
Do you like coral? Do you like pollution? Chances are you don't like pollution.
Yeah, this
Coral
is
bad,
really-
pollution good.
This is a very okay. So we watched Scuba Scuba Do, and Conway the Contaminationist. Both
Oh, that
of
was
which,
what it said. Okay.
both of which.
Oh, is that the
apparently-
name of the episode?
Yeah. Are apparently this is the Courage the Cowardly Dog EPA arc.
What happened? I can't remember my memory. I gotta get the giant robot. I'll be right back.
we are we are we're doing a save nature run, boys. That's what we're on this week.
You know what?
It is. It's a
They
save
really
nature
they
week.
really do need to save nature. Where will we be?
Well,
No, I'm actually no. Like I know that sounded like fucking.
dead.
Yeah.
So it'll be really hot and really cold and yeah.
It already feels
Speaking
like
of
it's
which,
here.
it's gonna snow in Kansas this week, and also 30 inches supposedly in this
Oh,
next
it's
storm
not.
coming.
It's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, well,
That's what we
obviously,
said about the last one.
It's gonna be
gonna say-
-2 though.
Ugh.
God damn it!
Horrible.
I hate numbers when they're in the negatives.
Winter is still here.
Winter.
Winter.
Scuba do.
Yeah, I took a drink and I didn't think it was gonna take that long.
No, I get you. It's kind of I just don't know where to roll into this one because
Well, okay.
It's a hard
so
way to start.
This
So
is what-
Courage is on vacation.
So
No.
Courage is on vacation.
so courage is a cowardly dog.
So Courage. All right. So if
The show is
Courage-
about a dog and
he
two
lives with
elderly.
two elderly people in nowhere, Kansas, and,
And
as
they
we
go on frequent.
they go on
vacations.
kooky adventures. All right. Well, splice that back at the beginning of every episode, and we're fine. Scuba Scuba Doo's fucking weird. And it's odd in that it's the brightest Courage episode I think we've ever seen, like color palette wise, and it's also the weirdest plot I think we've ran into in a while. In that, like, the
All right.
actual
What are they
device.
doing? We're
That's what I
finding
mean.
more people.
Yeah, so they're on vacation. All right, so we're just gonna jump into it. I'll do this
Yeah.
one. I'm flummoxed by Conway the Contaminator.
I don't know. I think both these episodes are like about the
It's about
environment.
environment. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So she.
Yeah.
This is 2002, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead, Sheldon. It's fun.
No, it's just like I'm just thinking of the actual like plot line and how it works, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay,
yeah.
so they go into the ocean, they find the little people,
Which
their
I
words,
will
not mine.
explain in a minute. We're
I
gonna
was
let
gonna
him
say,
riff.
excuse me, what'd you say?
And then and Eustace, who doesn't really play much into this plot line, except for the fact that he calls his mom because his wife
He's gonna
Muriel
complain.
goes, "Hey, my wife's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She's seeing little people in the coral."
Mm-hmm.
And of course, his mom, only seeing usefulness in Eustace at this moment, goes, "Oh my god, wait, little people in the coral? I don't need to hear anything else." And he
Well,
hangs
She,
up and he
yeah.
talks to what did you call him?
it's Bob
This is
Dole.
Bob Dole's there.
It's Bob Dole.
It's Bob Dole from the other episode dealing with Eustace's mom. There's a theme here, and that's what I was gonna get to. Is that this is a weird episode because the Bag family appears to be on a vacation on what again appears to be a deserted island, but it must not be because they have telephones.
Shell
Um,
phone.
I hate you. And they're scuba diving, hence the scuba in the title here. Scooby Doo does not appear. This is false advertising. I do want to know
Yeah,
you all
I
to
was
know
rather
this.
disappointed.
It's just a reference. And Eustace is obviously trying to find treasure, and Muriel's trying to like inspect the local reef. And Courage is there.
He's the dog. He has to go with them.
Yeah, and when they're looking at all this sea life, as Sheldon brought it up, they find what are essentially sea monkeys, but Muriel continually calls them little people. And again, I get that this was 2002, but man, just the idea that they're talking about the nomenclature little people, and it's just like they're in the ocean hurt my head for a while. So they find I'm gonna just refer to them as sea monkeys because they're just sea monkeys.
You
Like
don't want to
they're
keep saying.
no, I don't because we're gonna get flagged.
By
We're gonna get
who?
a
By what?
we're gonna get a phone
You-
call from Joe Rogan to be on his next podcast.
We're not
I want
gonna.
to talk about the little people too.
I see them in the coral too. Is that where Peter Dinklage comes from? Bring up the clip. Bring up the clip.
Jamie, pull up the clip.
Pull up the clip, Jamie. I think I saw Peter Dinklage in the ocean one time.
Wouldn't it be? I think it'd be more
Fucking-
hilarious if we got flagged for sea monkeys.
He's got a thumb for a head.
I prefer we call them. Can we call them just seamen from now on? Is that all right?
I don't
sea
want
people.
to.
Well, the aquatic chimpanzee.
Seaple.
Whoa.
But so Muriel finds. I missed this part. Did Muriel point them out first?
No, courage.
No, courage found her.
Courage found him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was using the micro.
Yeah. Well,
But
Muriel.
she must have noticed.
No, I thought Muriel pointed out that they're like tiny people having tea, and Courage was like, "No, there isn't."
What?
And he takes his magnifying glass and sure enough finds tiny sea monkey creatures having tea, and that freaks him out harder. They wave at him, and that freaks him out harder than almost anything he's ever come across. And I don't understand why he reacted that way, because it's
the ocean.
yeah, it's the ocean where there's so many scarier things. You ever seen a basking shark? Come on, man.
I prefer the bobbit worm for my underwater terrors.
That one's fun too.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or oh, what was it called? The goblin shark?
Yeah, the
That
one's
one's
shark.
fun too.
Oh, I don't know what that is,
Yeah.
but don't
Tim,
explain it.
don't you have any underwater monstrosities you want to bring to the table?
No.
Don't.
Why not? They're fun.
Well, as a man that's allergic to shellfish, I don't really think about.
So a
Well,
lot.
there's other things
Ah,
that are
lobster.
in the ocean besides shellfish. You know,
Shrimp.
Tim, I'm going to send you and listener at home for
Oh,
you
no.
to know. I'm going to send Tim a picture of a goblin shark. Tim, I want you to describe the face of the shark once you receive it, please.
Is it anything like Grandpa Shark? Do. A little
No.
bit. It looks kind of like the grandpa from Hey Arnold. If
It's
I
got
had
a
to put
really
a
long
I tell
proboscis.
you, short man.
It's got a weird little glassy eye, and then just go ahead and describe what's underneath that fun little nose.
So, the fun little nose is sticking straight out, kind of like a swordfish nose would be, right? Except for it's
Mhm.
not pointy, it's not too terribly long, and then you have what I can only describe as the most busted mouth I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, an
With
Englishman in the 1700s teeth.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
girl, what that mouth do?
yeah, and just rows of razor sharp, needle-like teeth.
yeah. This
Man,
is definitely the guy in the club that's asking every single girl what they're doing tonight.
the goblin
It's
shark is
weird,
aptly
dude.
named because holy fuck.
That does look
Very
like a goblin.
goblin-esque.
Yeah, that looks like a
Yes,
goblin. Yeah.
they're
It's the
also
nose
like
and everything.
they're also like 7 feet long.
If you've watched
Um,
any Michael Cusack or Smiling Friends, which is an awesome show everyone should watch,
Mm.
uh,
mhm.
it looks like that. It's like
it's
one of his
horrifying.
ugly creations that they
Yeah,
made for a
it's a
monster.
horrifying shark.
God, that is.
Um,
I want to see it in practice, right? I want to see it in real life doing its thing to see
You
what the
do?
fuck happened.
I want to just I know what you mean, but the idea of I want to see it in practice is really funny to me. Like the goblin shark is like, okay,
Here we
here we
go.
go. One
Removing,
more time.
removing the sternum.
I'm a goblin shark. Ah, no, it doesn't
God.
work. It doesn't work. All right.
Oh my
Terrifying
gosh.
presence. Terrifying presence. It's just it's
Move.
a very funny idea
Oh, 10, 10,
to me.
10,
Yeah.
10.
So this happens, and that's when this is the kickoff of the episode is Muriel wanting to know more about the tiny sea monkey humanoid creatures that live in the coral reef.
And who wouldn't?
And Eustace is like, "You're
Agreed.
insane." He's trying to search for treasure. Duh. And as one does on vacation, which I think would be really funny if people just went to tropical islands like on just a normal
Drop
vacation
spoons.
and then just started like trying to find treasure, like just started digging up beaches for no reason.
This is our ticket out of here. We're gonna get so many
and
doubloons.
This is your
It's
ticket
so
out of your
dumb.
vacation? Alright.
And he calls his mom because it's the only thing he can do, and tells her about the coral people. And his mom was working for that wig company, if you remember in the wig episode from last
Season one. Season one.
Was that season one?
Hothead is season one.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, God.
And she's like super excited because they're gonna, and this is the part where I got lost, is that she gets really excited about the idea of the little fish people, but then is more excited as she talks to Bob Dole about how you're
the
gonna
coral.
be able to turn the coral into wigs.
Yes.
No fuss, no muss.
No
Yeah,
brush.
No coconuts.
it's weird. It's a weird statement.
You know, you ever thought about putting a cement block on your head?
Only once.
Yeah, but not to wear.
Oh.
Yeah,
Huh.
I see.
Did you get the power team to bust it open just on your head?
Yeah, that's what it was. Karate.
Something that's too dated even for us to mention
yeah.
about.
Mm.
Yeah, and so that happens, and Muriel and Courage then go to greet the fish people with a pie, and they take them into their shell and show them all of their colonial history.
We found this land.
we kicked all the sea urchins out.
That's right. No more plankton here.
There's a Starbucks on every corner. And that's what's weird, is that they go through this whole thing and they're about fixing the coral because you can't rest on your laurels. And they go through
makes the work go faster.
Yeah, they go through this museum, and
They're called the Coralites, actually.
great.
I just found that. Sorry.
I'm nah.
No, it's okay.
Nah,
See
the
my-
wee people or the little people. fucking, it's 2002. It's weird, man. It's the fact that she has a Scottish accent that makes it weirder for me.
Because it is Imperial. Yeah.
Well, it's the fact that she's like, oh, the little people. And I'm like, that's. I know that they say that for leprechauns, but like. That's like a whole nomenclature thing now. And it's
Yeah,
it's
in
fun.
2022, 20 years later, not quite the same thing going on
Yeah.
here.
I don't. Again, like right now, this is another aside, and also about Peter Dinklage. Is Disney's gonna remake Snow White and the Seven Dwarves as a live action movie.
No, I don't like where this is going. You could stop right there.
Well, that's the thing is that Disney's right now trying to, and this is 2022, the year of our Lord.
Amino Domino.
They're yeah, it was good old whatever.
AD afterwards.
Well, that's it's not that it's C now. It's for CE for Common Era.
Oh,
But
progress.
yeah, but it's well, it's because like saying like AD for Adni Domino meaning after death that only works for like Christianized nations, and there's a whole bunch of other nations that aren't Christianized, and it's kind of silly that we've made an entire historical basis on the fact of like basing it off of one religion, where it's problematic when you look at other things. Anyway, when that when that statement came out, the Disney's like, we're gonna remake Snow White for live action. Immediately, people went, what are you gonna call the other guys? What are you gonna call them? What are you gonna call the other guys? And Peter Dinklage was like, I don't know if you should make.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. Yeah.
I don't think maybe we need to do that. And I was like, I don't disagree with Peter that maybe that movie needs to be worked around. And I'm like, are they just gonna like try to make it more fantasy and be like they're like Lord of the Rings dwarves?
No, that'd be even worse, wouldn't it?
No, because it's all fantasy. Because like it's a whole race thing. Like we still have dwarves.
But aren't they already fantasy dwarves?
That's true. I
yeah,
mean,
but
like,
I don't know.
Hi
man.
ho, hi ho.
Yeah, I know.
They work in the mines.
Yes,
they're
but
dwarves.
But Sheldon, they don't have long beards.
Well, some of them do.
And they don't dig too deep.
some do.
But that's
Actually, I think they're more like gnomes, to be fair.
They are more like gnomes. Also, not a great thing.
Yeah, guys, it's not
gnomes.
dwarves. They're gnomes.
Snow White and the Seven Gnomes.
The Seven Gnomes.
The seven.
What about Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys?
I was just about to say that in the jump truck. Seven clever boys.
Clever
One,
boys.
2, 3, 4. In fact, 6 of the dwarves grew beards. Only one of them didn't.
The seventh one was, well, he was big, large, you could say.
He was dope.
You already called him fat, narrator.
Well, he was big for a boy.
He's big for a boy. But anyway, that's my fun new thing where I'm like, I can't wait to see how Disney responds to this.
And they won't.
That's the thing, right? Disney does one of two things. They either respond too hard or they don't, and everyone's like, I think you could have responded a little bit. Like, it's kind of like, they're like, Song of the South doesn't exist. It's like, it does, though.
It does.
We know it does, and they're like, nope.
Nope, it's not on our streaming devices. It obviously doesn't exist.
It's just Splash Mountain. What's Splash Mountain based on? Funny Fox?
Cartoon. Cartoon from later. Don't worry about it.
It's a funny Fox. It's fine. I like that they had to revamp Splash Mountain. Anyway,
Wouldn't know.
because they turned it to Princess and the Frog.
Oh.
Which it's interesting, but I thoroughly enjoy that they were like, this entire amusement park ride that has been based on a movie that we've locked in a vault because we were terribly racist, and they're like, it's fine. You can still have the fun song, zippity doo dah. It's fine, whatever. And then people are like,
Zippity doo dah.
What about the movie? And they're like, what movie?
What are you talking about? Princess and the Frog? Yeah.
This is a funny Fox movie. I don't know. He gets into some trouble, that fox.
Nothing else bad ever happened to Disney.
Nothing bad ever happens to Disney.
Why don't you have any of the the people that were in the live action part of that movie in the ride? No reason. No reason. It was a funny Fox movie. That's why. So it's so fucking silly. Like it's just one of those things where I get that culture changes and everything else, and the fact that like certain corporations just go like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like we've all seen it, like we know. And no, no idea, couldn't tell you. No, not a clue.
Nothing
Like
bad.
Nickelodeon and Ren and Stimpy, where they're like, Ren and Stimpy, it's a funny show, and they're like, well, what about the creator of that show? And they're like, who knows?
What about the
What?
adult version of that show that was on Spike TV?
It didn't happen.
Don't know anything about that. What about this
so silly.
picture
We
from
just-
the original series that aired in the
And
90s?
with these hands.
It's just like no idea. Couldn't tell you. Strange.
This is now the Ren and Stimpy cast.
I'm just trying to figure out what Cartoon Network's thing's gonna be, and maybe it's this episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, which wouldn't be that bad, I guess.
No, not really.
No, it's not gonna be.
It's-
So they.
No. Cartoon Network's never done anything wrong. They didn't have a whole time where they took cartoons off of Cartoon Network and had live action programming. That never happened.
Hey,
not
Andrew
even that
WK
bad.
needed a paycheck.
That was the only good show. Bill
That's a
destroyed
lie.
Bill.
There's none. There was no
No,
good
that's
shows.
good.
That's a lie.
That show was at least watchable.
Nope. Andrew WK, yes. The show,
No.
No.
But fucking hole in the wall. But show it. What's something you can say on Cartoon Network? Anna, truck stop bathroom. Show me the hole in the wall.
You react the
Jesus.
same
But-
to both.
Shock and terror.
I can fit through there.
That was
That's a
really
really
good.
good one.
That was- I liked that one. We do a podcast about a cartoon dog. We got
So anyway, Eustace's
Yeah.
mom.
so Eustace. Well, so Muriel and Courage decide to help, and then Eustace's mom shows up in like a Dr. Robotnik contraption.
Yeah.
Like maybe a Captain Planet vehicle, even.
Mm,
Like the
Right,
villain
yeah.
just shows up
That
and will
would-
destroy
This is-
the coral
this is
with this.
that
shovel.
is.
It's the Captain
It's
Planet!
The Captain Planet arc.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we did it. And so it is. It's a submarine with a fucking mouth to chew up the coral
And then turn it into wigs.
and then turn it into wigs.
And yes, that makes perfect sense.
Don't ask
Shut up.
any questions.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Dole said. Do
I mean,
it.
here's the questionable part about that, right? So
Oh.
she heard that there are little
this-
people in the coral,
Uh-huh.
and she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh shit! Do you hear that? There's
very
coral."
excited about that. Well, and that's the thing, right? It wasn't the coral part that made her excited. It was the full sentence of little people in the coral, and she was excited at the little people part.
Yeah,
And I don't.
and so they
get
came
it.
to.
Because they make coral.
Yeah,
True,
but she
okay.
wasn't trying to capture them. This wasn't a Gargamel
Also,
situation.
when they show them making coral, which is literally at this part of the episode, they're just throwing things up and putting plaster on them. And in their song, they
Yeah.
go, "Throw it up,
it's almost like-
plaster it."
Yeah,
It's almost like they don't make the coral at all. It's like they just
just-
put it together.
they just put it together. It's actually one giant underwater IKEA.
She should.
And-
She would probably just have as much luck finding a fucking regular coral reef.
I think if she asked, they would do it for
Yeah, they'd
her.
be like, "Oh, we
Oh,
can
you
make
wanna
some money off of
make
this."
wigs?
All right.
Yeah.
Will this
Also,
keep
the
you awake?
mayor of this city has a little top hat and a tie, and I don't know if it's part of his anatomy or not. So I'm really confused.
Listen, no, he had that made specially for him
Out of coral.
Mm.
out of coral.
Nah, I think it's.
No,
part of
I
his
think it was
anatomy.
made out of nepotism, but coral was also there.
My father was a mayor, and now I am too.
It was made out of the old bones of the founder of the town.
But he had like a Daniel Boone hat where The
Yeah,
Where
that's
did
also true. What did he kill?
he
a
killed a
raccoon
raccoon
fish?
a fit.
It's like a dogfish.
The more that we think about this episode, the more holes there are in it.
It's
Listen,
just
I wasn't expecting a fucking.
I didn't come on this podcast to take a quiz, okay?
It has as many holes as a net.
That's
Get
actually
over
what
it.
Joe Rogan also says every time he starts his podcast.
He just starts it that way.
He's just well, yeah, when he's not
And
yelling.
he goes, "I'll have Neil
Um,
Young on, and then he'll be back on Spotify."
Taylor,
my
how does it
God.
feel that you're probably the Joe Rogan of this podcast?
I don't think he is. To be
I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. I don't think so because I don't think I've ever given out misinformation.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
Knowingly.
that has gotten people
But you're
horribly
definitely
killed.
a personality.
Well, then
Eh.
I'm any other person on
I
the
was
podcast.
gonna say, then you're
then.
any person that's ever done stand up ever too, because
This is how I make sure that we don't ever get picked up. This is really what it is.
dog bless.
Tim, edit the last 30 minutes out.
I won't.
Yeah, but anyway, the news has been fun the week that we're recording. That's not evergreen content. That's just new. That's just context for you, the listener. So this is happening. Muriel and Courage have to stop Eustace's mom. Eustace's mom's submarine has torpedoes, which is fun.
You know,
Eustace is on the beach digging up something we don't know yet. Courage then rides the torpedo back to the beach, where we find that Eustace has uncovered a crashed World War II fighter, like a Hellcat or a Corsair. I think it's probably a Corsair.
It's got the smiling teeth on it, so.
Yeah, but they did that on a few of them. But it's
Yeah,
probably
I know, but that was like an American thing, wasn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's an American plane. It's blue. That's how you knew. That's how you knew it was a American naval plane.
Well, it couldn't have been the Zero.
No, they were white.
They also didn't come back.
Well, yeah, some of them did. Not all of them were kamikazes. But
Planes.
anyway,
Planes. Cool.
plane talk.
Cool.
Eustace gets hit with the torpedo and just kind of is dust then, so who knows. And Courage takes the plane and turns it into a submarine. Logic.
Because it's airtight.
And they begin to have a dogfight underwater in which Courage is firing machine guns, Eustace's mom is firing torpedoes, and it's just a very chaotic scene.
Would you say
And
that
then
it was a dogfight?
yes,
Well, that's what she said, Tim.
and then
Shit,
Courage uses the torpedo she fired at him to blow up her sub, and then she uses a bazooka to blow up the underwater plane now, and then both of them are under the water in scuba gear, and Eustace's mom's wig falls off. She leaves her respirator behind for Courage to take. I guess they weren't in scuba gear. Ma Eustace was. Courage takes it. She almost drowns, but doesn't. And the coral lights give Courage a plaque in their a picture in their Hall of Fame. And then they get a pie. And that's the end of it. That's the end of this
Hooray!
episode.
Yeah.
I know I went fast on the end there, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Once Ma shows up in the submarine, it's like 3 beats and the part
I
A
was
is
gonna
done.
say the whole first part of that setting up the coral.
It was so long.
It took like 7-8 minutes of the episode, and then Mom
Yeah,
shows
it
up
was
at
like-
9, and the episode's only
yeah,
12 minutes long.
it's 11. It's 11
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, 12 minutes, and yeah, and it's. I feel like I was bait and switched too, because like Scuba Scuba do, you think that there's gonna be like, why did do like a hairdo?
Oh God.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God, I'm not the last person that came up with that. I thought you guys were just letting me be an idiot.
No. Honestly,
Oh my
it's
God.
tone deaf because Scooby Doo was existing for a long time before this. So like,
Well, I don't think it's tone deaf.
I think it is.
No,
I
it's
think
just more clever than I thought it was.
I think tone deaf would be like
Be like,
like
what?
Scrappy
the
Doo.
Ballad of the Little People or something like that. Like, that'd be tone deaf.
Oh God.
Alopecias don't watch. Like, that would be tone deaf, Tim.
Little people don't matter. And that's what it is.
Oh. Short people.
Really
got
glad
no
that was
reason.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Randy Newman? Anyway, there's a lot of weird. The more that I think about it, there's a lot of weird cult like things out there dealing with individuals that suffer from like dwarfism and other birth defects that affect their height. Right? There's a lot of weird media out there.
Yeah.
Why did Randy Newman make that song?
Well,
Because he was paid
why
to.
does Randy Newman exist? Like, we can't answer that.
Well, Tim, when a mommy Randy and a daddy Randy love
that
each
might
other.
Be it.
I don't want to meet mommy Randy.
Come here, baby. Come on.
By the way, the wiki.
Keep your head on.
The wiki describes the contraption that Ma Bag is driving as a submarine with a trap jaw. So you can take that information.
I guess. I mean, I think they probably mean like a bear trap.
Yeah, but they didn't say that.
I guess I can see that. No, I know, but I think that when it comes to the individuals who cover the fandom site for us.
At this point, it's exclusively for us, dude.
So it's us and 4 other people. I think that there's some like understanding that they're writing it at their level.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get wildly different like workings of plots and synopsi and all that fun stuff.
And maybe a few things here and there that are a little dicey.
Yeah. I don't know. It is very
We've only asked them to change one thing so far, so
yeah. It's an odd mix, and it's an odd episode.
Yeah. Speaking of oddities,
do it.
Let's talk about trivia. And that's every month you hear that noise from Sheldon when I say that.
All right. Sure.
Here we go.
So, there's some sad trivia for this episode. First off, minor character D Long also showed up in this episode at the very end.
Oh yeah, I forgot D Long was there. He was on a surfboard. He's all tan.
The sad piece of trivia was this was the last appearance of Ma Bag due to her voice actress passing away after this episode finished production.
Oh,
so that is kind of sad. It's not the best character in the show, but I would like to see her back for more episodes. I said that correctly. Fuck off. I said that the right way.
I just really enjoy the idea of like somebody dies and you're like, I mean, they weren't the best character.
Oh no.
Anyway,
I don't put those words in my mouth.
Hey, listen, we've all.
I've already said enough incriminating things in this episode.
People are sad and they're like, I mean, they weren't like that.
I mean, they weren't the main character, Scrubs.
Oh, they were such a good person. No, they weren't. They were a shitty character.
Like, it's just really funny to me.
They had a 2-episode character arc. Don't even talk to me. You know,
arguably, Ma didn't even have a character arc. She's just
a villain. But it is sad.
Even though her first episode, she wasn't really a villain.
In the first episode, she had an arc. Like, I mean, she was a villain, but then it was like, oh, I'm bald too, and that's the arc.
Yeah, and then everything else is her trying to not be bald by weirdly morally gray area means.
We're gonna grow hair on people and then shave them.
Shave them.
If you Never mind. You know what? I'll ask that question.
Yeah, I was
next
gonna say.
podcast.
Second trivia fact: I don't understand it. So maybe
Uh-huh.
All right,
you.
go ahead. That makes it a great trivia.
Yeah. When this episode airs on Discover Fanatic, which, by the way, it says when this episode airs on Discover Fanatic, which means it hasn't aired yet. A short song is played during the title card, which is "Scuba Scuba Doo."
What the
I
fuck is
don't.
I
Discover
don't know, and I
Fanatics?
clicked the link in there.
Discovery Fanatics was a TV network.
Was it? Like, was it Discovery Channel for kids?
Discovery Fanatic.
No.
I'm in
Fan
the wiki, and
TV.
like their wiki doesn't really exist. Like, I don't
I don't.
understand.
Yeah, it appears to be maybe like a something of a, like an abroad uh
And it's
show.
so
Like,
weird when you
er,
click on their wiki and you look at like all pages. Like they have Courage the Cowardly Dog. They have like weird stuff in there.
it's like ABCD
Ooby
TV.
Wonder Pets. Peppa
Oh,
Pig.
here's a
Yeah,
Discovery Fanatic ABCD TV, a TV network that launched on
yeah,
December 21st, 1969, under the name Peanuts and Friends TV. So,
yeah. It's like I think it's either some defunct uh thing or it is something that is
who the
Hmm.
fuck
it's
who the
weird, dude.
fuck on the
I don't know.
Courage
It's some programming for something. I don't know what, but it's some
Yeah, it's
programming for
probably
something.
so it probably spun off if what I just read was correct of like the people who own the Peanuts stuff. So all the Charlie Brown stuff, right? Uh made their own network and then it failed, but somehow it was still around in the early thousands.
I think it's because it's like a, a I think it's like a Roku channel or
Oh,
something,
okay,
like one of
that
those
could be
things.
it. But
I have no idea. If you know something about Discovery Fanatics, formerly known as Peanuts and Friends TV, tweet at us at Liquid
yeah,
Courage,
please,
at Liquid underscore Courage, or just at
Liquid
Liquid
underscore
Courage?
podcast.
Liquid underscore podcast. Tweet
Yep.
there.
You can find us online. I don't think the other Liquid Courage podcast is still going, but if it is,
Nah,
don't tweet at her. Tweet at us.
Or do.
Or do I don't care. I thought for a moment I was like, you know what? I don't care.
I broke
Uh,
him. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's weird. It's not, I think it's some defunct.
that's the
TV
last trivia fact, but there is a cultural reference. Can you guys guess what it might be?
It's
It
Scooby
is.
Doo. It's just Scooby Doo, Tim. It's just about how Scooby Doo, where are you, is a thing, and then this is a reference to Scooby Doo, but they don't actually have a Scooby Doo thing until they have the Scooby Doo Courage movie.
So this was written recently. That's the funnier part about this to me. Yeah. That is your trivia for this episode. Some of it's sad, some of it was weird.
Now let's talk about pollution.
We haven't even rated the episode.
It's bad.
All right.
Oh fuck, right.
I give it 4 tiny mayoral hats out of 5.
Wow,
It's
you're
fun.
gonna
That's
say
pretty
something
close to
else.
what I was
All
gonna
right.
get. Yeah, but yeah.
It's very it's fun. It's a fun episode. It's weird. It goes places, but go watch it. It's fun. And give credit to writer
Lori
Lazarus,
Lazarus.
which
Look
is
it up.
not a fake name. Not at all.
No, but
Lori Lazarus.
give credit to her. Go.
She's been born from the Lazarus pit multiple times.
I will give this 5. No, not 5. Jeez. No,
Five?
not 5.
Wow.
I'll give this a 4 out of 5. Eustace concealing towels. Because there's a part in the episode where Eustace was just wearing a towel.
Eustace is only wearing a towel
Yeah.
for this part of the episode. So
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a movie sometimes.
felt like a movie.
It could have been.
Like the build up to when she stole all the coral,
Oh, let me write this down. This is my pitch to Cartoon Network.
and then the airplane comes out of nowhere to save the day.
and then
then
I
the
wanna.
bazooka.
Those tiny people that live in
If
the
I could
coral.
remake this episode so it'd be better for like Adult Swim, not just Cartoon Network, I would have had the episode be the same all the way up to where Eustace finds the airplane, and just have him go more junk, and then behind him is just a shit ton of Nazi memorabilia that he dug up from the beach,
Well, at least
and
he,
then not mention it. Just go on
at
the rest
least
of the
he,
episode.
We're in the Pacific. I don't know how many times I have to cover this.
oh, I'm sure there are some
That's-
Nazi on vacation.
That's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. That it's Nazi memorabilia, not Japanese.
Alright. Sheldon, go.
4 shellfish phones out of
Shell phones, thank
shell
you.
phones.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. 4 shell phones out of 5.
Nice.
It was, you know, it was a. This entire episode's an all-around good episode. It's just God. It takes a little bit to figure
Very
out.
environmental.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about pollution.
Who here likes
Me,
pollution?
me.
Who here likes the sludge?
Mm.
Who here
Ugh.
likes the
I love
sludge?
sludge.
I do not like the sludge.
Nope. Too bad. There's a lot of sludge in
You
this
know,
episode.
Thick
So in this
drink.
episode,
Ugh.
Sludge is not one of
Sludge.
them.
in this episode, Conway Twitty show. No,
What was his last
It's
name?
Twitty.
it's Conway. Well, it's just Conway the Contaminationist.
I thought he gave himself a last name. in the
No,
episode.
he's just Conway.
Live long like Conway.
He's just Conway. So this is a fun one in which misinformation gets gets at least 2 people very sick.
What year was this episode made?
2002.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's an episode where misinformation gets people very sick. Now you understand the illusions I was making earlier, listener. All right, so
Now we're getting...
illusions. That'd be like if you went to an illusionist and he just like fucking had a floodlight and he just pulled out a gun and he's like, I can make people disappear. Bang!
Look, he's no longer here.
His soul has left his body. Illusions.
And now
And now I'll pull this card out of my sleeve. And then he just shoots somebody else in the head. That was an illusion. I just made him disappear.
Illusion.
wait, that's not a card.
There was never a card to begin with.
It's like if you can go to a magician and they could go to cut somebody in half and they just do it.
And now I shall
You-
solve this for
You know
you.
someone somewhere has actually done that too. That's the worst part.
It's probably somewhere on the
least
deepest
once.
parts of the web.
But this is a weird one because so Muriel's cleaning house, Courage is like hanging out. Eustace is bitching about his back
Yeah,
because he's old.
what does that have to do with anything?
'Cause
now that
he's
I think about
old.
it? No, I mean, what did that have to do with about the episode? Now that I think about it.
No, because he's old, you see, and you can live better with Conway.
God bless.
Live longer, live better, and so
Live longer, live better, live
yeah,
stronger.
and then there's this white stuff falling from the sky, which they think is snow, but it's just pamphlets that say "Live longer,
Is that
live
what they
better."
say?
And as you look up, there's a man skywriting in the sky, and we get a good close-up look at this horrible creature, who is supposedly a man, but he has green, lumpy skin.
Few tumors on his forehead.
He's got the weird side eyes that blink sideways. Every time he talks, smoke comes out of him. And he's skywriting the same thing, and then he crashes horribly into the windmill.
You can't talk about Jeff Bezos that way.
And there's some fun North by Northwest reference in which you have Courage run like from a plane,
But
and he like runs from a plane like in that movie where Cary Grant runs from a plane.
yeah,
Ah.
in the cornfield.
Um,
right?
Yes.
In
Was
what?
it in the cornfield, or was he just running away?
I can't
I think 'cause-
remember if it's. I think it's on a road, isn't it? Doesn't he get buzzed on a road?
Is it a road?
I think so.
I've seen it many
I don't
different
know.
ways. Like there's That joke's been done to
It's
hell.
it's the movie North by Northwest. It's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It's a really fun thriller, thriller film.
Yeah.
It's fun. It clearly has an impact even today because Courage does it, Family Guy does.
I was gonna
There's
say
so many
Family
people that
Guy's
have done
done
the
it,
reference.
Simpsons have done it, obviously, because Simpsons have been around for 30 years. They've done all the jokes.
Mm.
Like that's people now know that joke more than they know the movie. So
The movie, yeah. And then Courage drags the man into the house, to which Muriel's going to get him, trying to get him better. And
this man looks
he,
just like Salad Fingers, like a spitting
yeah,
image.
which is again, we do this podcast and we say shit like he looks just like Salad Fingers, and I know that hit at such a specific internet time that there's enough people now who
What the
don't
fuck is Salad
understand
Fingers?
what that
Yeah.
reference is, and we then have to go, okay, so Salad Fingers was an internet flash thing made
What
by a
the
guy,
fuck is Flash?
and oh god, it's an animation software that was on the
Oh
internet.
yeah,
that you
20
can't
years
use
from now,
anymore.
somebody like Flash. What the fuck is Flash?
And you did this, and he loved spoons, and he was green and had weird fingers.
And you know what? That was fun.
You don't need to go watch it. You don't. You could, I guess. You don't have to.
Taylor, why not? Why shouldn't they watch this?
Oh, they can. You don't have to. We might be the only thing that has referenced Salad Fingers in the last
We're
5
not.
years.
No, I could almost guarantee.
If you tell me that Oni Plays in the last 5 years hasn't made one Salad Finger reference, I'd be kind of suspicious. Or any of those shitbirds over there.
shitbirds.
You know who I'm talking about.
Birds.
Watch Smiling Friends on Adult Swim right now.
Don't.
We're not being paid.
You don't have to.
If only.
You don't have to pay me. I'll
To be we don't have to get paid to be
yeah,
shills.
for that, I'll chill. That's awesome. Watch it.
The views on this podcast are not reflective of all members of this podcast. But I want a mattress. But this happens. Muriel has to get him better. He mumbles some things, and it turns out that he wants sludge. And so
Also, he clearly doesn't mumble sludge.
No, he doesn't. And this is the part where like my brain just stopped processing the episode for a bit because I was like, what happened here?
This didn't involve them at all. To be totally honest, the whole first part of this episode was
Yeah.
a guy skywriting in the sky, live longer, live better, dropping pamphlets on people. He's like, we were just here.
And then crashing. And this happens, and Courage gets a bunch of sludge for him from like the rain gutter and the stove and all kinds of Eustace's toes. And he drinks it, and he jumps up, and he's like, "It's great. I'm Conway." And he's been living a pure filth lifestyle to live longer because he's 100 and like
98.
20. Is it 98?
198.
98 or is
193.
no? He could actually be a 193-year-old man, like he claims to be.
I don't know. Yeah, he claims to be 193.
8, whatever.
But he's clearly older.
I don't know. He's a fucking weird green. He turned himself into a pickle. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh god.
He can't breathe, and he makes Muriel turn the vacuum to blow, and it just blows dust all over their house. And he's like, out with the good air and with the bad air. That's what he says, and he convinces them that this is the lifestyle you need to live if you want to feel younger, sprier, and better. while looking like a desiccated corpse.
Yeah.
And it just spirals from there, where Conway continues to make filth a habit for the bags, as so far into trashing the entire surrounding bag farm and getting the house fucking tented by the government because it's such a health
It's yucky.
risk. And Muriel and Eustace are fucking bone thin skeleton, basically. And they're dying.
I don't know if this is working, Conway. No.
It's great.
It's gonna work. It's gonna
Jesus
work.
Christ.
Just
And he brings in toxic sludge with a pop tab.
Brownback
I
said to
wonder how hard that
Kansas
was to find.
the second time he's
Yeah,
like, it's
well,
going to
we
work.
never brought. Well, that
The
was
Mountain Dew
yeah.
sales must have been up.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn.
Christ. And it's all weird, and Courage is trying to clean up, but he can't. And then so Conway tells me you need a bigger vacuum, which pings an idea of building a bigger vacuum out of the plane parts and a red balloon. And it's one of those episodes where, God, it went so fast. It's the same as the other one. Like, it's the same length as the ape episode, but it just felt like it just
We
flew by.
were watching it, and at a certain point, we weren't even talking because we just had to process the information being bombarded at us.
It was so fast.
Oh.
It just was
Now
like
Courage is gonna suck up all the trash.
Yeah, with his makeshift
Super
vacuum.
mega suck a vacuum.
With a balloon condom at the end of it to catch all.
Yeah, it is weird.
With a balloon, with a balloon, a car filter, and a super vacuum duct taped together.
I love Dave the
Yeah, really.
Barbarian. That show was so stupid.
And yeah, but he does this, and that's the thing, is that they're dying. The old pickle
Conway's
boy
feeling better.
is feeling great.
Yeah, so yeah,
And
he
Courage-
sucks him into the actual vacuum, so he's now with all the filth, and he loves it.
Well, yeah, and he catches Muriel and Eustace. Them being in the fresh air revives them.
Wish
So
it was
they're-
that quick.
They're plump. Yes, they're plump. Like
Eustace
brightly
gains
colored
all of
cells.
5 pounds back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
And that's
it. And he
And
then
then-
Yeah,
floats
there's
away.
really nothing to this
They
episode.
release Conway into the atmosphere
Where nothing
Yeah.
bad happened.
to go harass somebody else once that balloon eventually deflates.
I think that's most of
Do you
Courage's
think
plans.
the family
though.
that found him before went through the same thing, but they just like shoved him into a plane and told him, "Go, there's more dirt that way."
Maybe that's the thing, is that
He
like
comes and goes as he pleases.
it's a fun social commentary on misinformation, which I've done enough of, so I won't anymore. But it's also just like, it's fucking wild. Like, it is a wild B episode, and I sit here and I go,
What
did
just
we
happened?
watch that? Did we watch all of it? Did we miss a part of it? Because it seems like, man, it goes from like, all right, here's what it is, gone.
Conway's
really
here,
fast.
Conway's gone.
Can I say something about misinformation? My favorite example
Sure.
of people trying to make sure that you know something is misinformation is on Tosh.0, where he did a joke
Oh.
about mainlining Starburst, and in the whole thing he just goes, "The juice is loose," and then it ends, and they go back to studio where Daniel Tosh is standing there, goes, "I have to say this because some of you won't understand it. Do not mainline Starburst.
Do not seek the treasure.
Do
Yeah.
not do that."
It's just one of those moments where, man, being in 2020 with all of, the
It's
things,
2022, Taylor. I think you should
2022 with all of the
Oof.
things, Is it, Tim, or did the world pause at 2020 and we just haven't really caught back up
Well,
yet?
You see, God blinked.
he blinked real long.
God closed a door and didn't open any
See,
windows.
Jesus put the blindfold over God. It was like, where are you now?
And the rest of us went, it's been dark for a while.
Boy, it sure seems like it's not getting any better.
Never
Be a
will.
long game of hide and seek.
But it is one of those things of like watching that episode and that being the like entire premise of just being like, yeah, it's funny because he's a dirt monster, and he gave him bad information and they bought it, and I'm like, my grandma routinely answers security questions that are posted on Facebook by random groups, and oh boy, that's just a little too close
This
to
is all
home for
too
me.
real. Yeah. This didn't age well,
Yeah.
not because of any like little thing in it. It's because of
It would have been fine. It would have been fine if the things didn't happen.
if the world didn't collapse 2 years ago. You know.
Like that's
Live
the
long
thing.
like Conway.
Live long
There
like
you go.
Conway.
At the end
Yeah.
of this, we're just gonna see Conway at the White House.
He's like, live long, live better. Oh god.
Listen, you're all feeling better, aren't you? It's
We're
like,
all feeling better.
Jesus Christ. This is oh my god, this is getting worse. Even more real the more we try to make fun of it. It's just terrifying.
It's just weird. Like it's a weird. It's one of those episodes where you're like, huh,
If there's
man, we didn't. 2002 was a weird time,
if there's any consolation, it just means that good times are ahead because there was some good times from 2002 to 2020. So,
well, it's one of those things of like, man, we really had one thing to worry about in 2002, huh?
planes, yes.
There was like one topic that everyone was really worried about, and then everything else was just kind of like, whatever.
This episode had everything to worry about. Planes, misinformation. Oh wait, this came out in 2002.
Yeah.
Let's.
But that's the thing. It's just fun. Go to your
Yeah.
things.
So
go to your
we
trivia.
pointed this out before we started recording. I didn't read all the way through it, and I haven't read all the way through it yet, so we will. Here's the trivia for fandom. It is a doozy. It states, it is unknown what Conway really is. He could be a 193-year-old man like he claims to be. However, due to his alien-like appearance, which resembles Zoidberg from Futurama, it's more likely that Conway is an alien in disguise as a human, who comes from a planet where filth is healthy to its citizens.
Yeah. Good. You see, I love the parts of trivia where we just make
Yeah, I was
it
like,
up.
that is completely fucking made up.
That's my favorite part of any trivia is when I just get to make up the trivia.
This is also Conway's only appearance.
Like that's
So you can definitely make up the trivia.
my favorite thing to do. I often, when I go to trivia nights,
Make up the facts.
just say no.
Like this.
They're like the answer is this, and I go, it isn't.
This
It's
episode is about misinformation, and there is someone literally missed the point in writing the trivia, and put misinformation in the article.
Yeah, you know, it's whatever, man. It's theirs. You know?
If that should be a joke. Somebody did that as a joke, right?
You think? I hope so.
Oh my gosh, that is like the worst. That is the only trivia for this episode. There's like.
Yeah, I
nothing
noticed.
else. Like Craig Sheeman. Sorry, I don't know your last name. Shemin, probably. He did a lot of other episodes.
Fuck you, Craig.
Like man, I don't know. Like everything here is normal except for that one trivia fact. It's so weird.
Yeah. It is one of those things where it's just odd when you like go through it because you're like, that's a thinker of an episode there. This episode stews for a bit, guys. Go watch it and watch as it just kind of melts around your brain.
I think they gave me full access to edit the wiki
They shouldn't.
because I can edit this page.
You shouldn't.
I mean, I could edit that trivia fact to be like, this may not be trivia.
Just delete it.
Let's see.
It's just.
Oh, they have to approve it, but still, like.
Yeah. It's just weird. Like, that is, again, my favorite kind of trivia is what. Oh, I just made it up. Oh, how did you know that fact? I made it.
I thought about it real hard, and I came to this conclusion.
Did you, like, check with a source about it?
No.
Just did it. It's just dumb. It's silly. I don't get it. But
It applied immediately. All I put at the end of it was,
Yeah.
"Is this actually trivia?" Sorry, I want to see what happens.
Tim's gonna get IP banned.
From the fandom.wiki.
It's there. I can see it on my end.
It's funny.
This is actually trivia. Shut up.
Shut up! It's
I
fan
can't wait to get
canon.
an email tomorrow at the email that we do check once in a while. To have them say you shouldn't have put that in there. You're banned for the Courage Wiki.
You're banned from
Meanwhile,
the wiki.
someone else on the
And
wiki
then-
made a whole section for Fissionary. The Fissionary is an antagonist in fishy business.
Good for him.
What's this episode? What do we think about this episode? What you rate this episode?
I don't know.
I don't
It's
fucking
priceless,
know.
is what it is. I think it's probably another. I give it like a 3-5 Eustace sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Used
you're
to
welcome.
sludge specifically, huh? With the
Mhm.
ice cream scoop.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, that is how
Yeah.
he took it out of his foot. That was the.
I don't
It
even
was more like
remember.
a. It was more like a
I need
grabber.
to point out when we watched
Yeah,
that
well.
part of the episode, all of us kind of screamed a little bit to be like, "Ugh, this is gross."
I was just like, oh, I forgot we're watching a 2002 Cartoon Network show. There's
It's
gross out
gross
humor.
out,
Silly
yeah.
me.
I will give this. Oh, Sheldon, do you want to go?
Fuck, dude. I don't.
Do it.
Ugh. I'm gonna put up fucking 3 quarantine signs out of fucking 5. It's yucky
It
in
is
there.
yucky.
It's
I
yucky
don't
in
wanna,
there.
I don't wanna fucking think about
Yeah.
it too long.
It's yucky in
yucky.
there.
It's yucky in there.
That's the sign. That is literally what it says.
It's yucky in there. Don't go in there. It's pretty yucky.
Should have done that instead of
There you go.
pandemic.
It's yucky.
It's
yucky
yucky
in
in
there.
there.
Yucky
I
out
will
there.
give this 3.5
Things
filthy
on-
pig sitting in Eustace's chair out of 5.
I forgot about this. Yeah, there's a
There
filthy
is a
pig in the
filthy
episode
pig.
too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
filthy pig. Sounds like a
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
channel.
It's fun.
Oh,
Welcome to Filthy Pig,
I'm
where we
Welcome to
we get
Filthy
filthy.
Pig, where we get filthy. We drink a lot
hold
of
on.
sludge.
I'm writing notes for this episode. Make filthy pig side channel. Gotcha. We only watch dirty things on there.
You already did.
It's actually just going to be Tim green screening himself to look like a pig in.
No, the green screen's back there. I have to wear a blue bodymore suit in order to change me.
Oh, you're right. See, and that he'll be doing that for your entertainment, and it will be a paid-for channel.
Oh, it is? Oh, no. I'm not watching this until we're
I
done.
don't know. It was funny for the joke.
It's still
Is this how we end the episode? Petering out on a funny joke?
That's how we end
That's
every
true,
episode.
yeah.
we literally ended every episode.
We've
with
never ended
nothing.
an episode
Happily. Yeah,
differently.
true.
Well,
We've always been
we've
sad.
ended
I
many of
think
them
we could
happily.
end it
No?
just like this.
The fuck is wrong with
I
you
think
guys?
we can end it with this.
Tune in next week or next month when I break Tim's automaton over his head. See you next time on the Liquid Courage Podcast.
Bye! That was the Liquid Courage Podcast, an in-depth look at every episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Music was provided by Visionless. You can find them at www.soundcloud.com/VISIONLESS. L3SS. We do not own the rights to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Until next time, have a wonderful night.